The plan is in place. Baseball just participates in it. The grown feeding the growing, showing how it's done. The kids see them as heroes, like fathers, like sons. The seed is planted. The love is passed. For a game that's buried deep in our roots, lives in our hearts, and helps us play a part in the repeating refrain. That's what happens here. The big leaguers play, the kids watch, wonder, and dream. And life and the game carries on in the Little League Classic.
Well done, well said, as we welcome you to the Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown program, and we are live in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, Bowman Field, where tonight we continue what has become a phenomenal series. It is the Chicago Cubs and Joe Madden and the Pittsburgh Pirates. We've seen the Cardinals here, the Mets here, the Phillies here. Pirates take two, their second appearance in this Little League Classic. And as we'll soon hear from the commissioner of Major League Baseball, other teams are aching to make this part of their regular summer schedule if they can. We had a little rain blow through here. In fact, the Little League game that we were broadcasting a little while ago had to be suspended after 4 innings. We'll pick that up tomorrow, but now this is Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown presented by Chevrolet. And the skies have cleared a little bit, which is good. The weather forecast is very optimistic, and we should get the baseball game in between the Cubs and the Pirates. Tim Kirchin, Mark Teixeira, Carl Ravitch here. Let's lead off, and lo and behold, Cody Bellinger's gone deep for the 42nd time.
Takes the lead over Christian Yelich, and how about those two kids this year?
And how close was Ronald Acuna to holding that ball in his glove? Tremendous effort. Juan Soto, speaking of little leaguers and kids.
And with Yelich and Bellinger doing such a great job in the outfield, you forget Juan Soto might be the best, most talented outfielder in the entire National League.
Pete Alonso, the first rookie with 40 home runs.
And one more homer, he ties the Mets record for all players for homers in a season. We got 6 weeks to go.
I think it's going to happen. Kyle Seager has found the bat and the ball 5 times this week. He's hit one over the wall, and Kyle Seager now has 16 home runs this season. Meantime, Virginia, we don't have a lot of home runs at the Little League World Series. 2 games and 2 no-hitters. One, a 6-inning variety featuring 3 different pitchers. And today, just one guy throws the complete game. It lasts only 4 innings. Welcome, everyone. This is the Sunday night broadcast booth. Because of the weather, we're here for a little while. That's Tim. He's in red, Texan royal blue, dark blue, and white. We get the whole American flag covered here with the commissioner of baseball, Rob Manfred. I thought, and you tell me, what were your impressions of just that open to this program?
Well, you know, it's such a great day here, and we were actually in between the raindrops. We were watching TV a little bit and the coverage on ABC, and the visual of our players with all these great little leaguers is just one of the best of the year for us.
You know, anytime you try something new, there's probably a little apprehension. Clint Hurdle told us that, and then all of a sudden you get there and things change. Is that sort of what you're hearing from the players?
It is. You know, I talked to the players on both teams, a few of them, and everybody seemed really excited to be here. I think one of the things that we've benefited from is players who've had the experience have gone back and talked to other players about how much fun it is to come here, what a great experience it is, and I think that's really helped us build momentum for the event.
And I'll say all the teams that have been here have embraced it, but there was a little extra today from the Cubs. They were literally like kids on a playground. And the manager going down a hill on a piece of cardboard, and Rizzo and Bryant, it would be so wonderful if they could take the cue from what the Cubs did today. A little different.
You know, I was just had my fingers crossed when they were out there on that hill thinking, oh, please, you know, don't let anything happen. But
when are you going down the hill on some cardboard?
Hey, listen, I would do that. I kind of like sleds.
You know, we've been in a variety of places, and obviously this seems like it's working so well. Are we prepared as a Major League Baseball and the league to say, you know what, we'll commit to this for 5, 10 years?
Look, I think that we think about this already as a regular part of our summer schedule. You know, it a little different than places we've gone that were exciting, really good for the game. We may not be back there immediately.
Fort
we
Bragg,
think
for
about
instance.
that. Yeah, I
Things
mean,
like that, yeah.
yeah. I mean, this we think of as, you know, we do this in the summer, we do it in August,
Cool.
and that's how we think about it.
Yeah, expand on that. So this has been a huge success, the Little League Classic. London was a success. Everyone's really excited about the Field of Dreams in Iowa next year. For Major League Baseball, I mean, we want to expand internationally. We want to expand here in the U.S. What's next for MLB going to interesting places?
Well, I think that, you know, the general theory is that we have a very long season, and it's important to make events to drive the interest over that whole long season. We like the idea of taking baseball to places where people don't ordinarily have an opportunity to see it. We think Iowa is going to be phenomenal next year. The interest in that announcement has been tremendous, and we think it'll be a great event for us. We will continue to go new places, both domestically and internationally, as long as Tony Petitti keeps coming up with ideas about what might work. We're going to keep doing it. You know, obviously we're going back to London next year. That is on a little different track as well. I mean, it's part of an important internationalization effort, and you know, it's going to be at least next year and maybe beyond.
Is there like a suggestion box, like that people actually send? Because I got to believe there are people who are raising their hand in communities saying, what about us?
You know, it's interesting. We have had a lot of interest from places that we hadn't thought about, particularly in Europe. You know, facilities are a problem. We did have some incoming from cities saying, hey, we have a facility we think you could be able to use. So, you know, that's great. I mean, we love that, and we don't think we have the corner on good ideas, and plenty of games that we could move places to keep the season interested and centered on the event nature of what we do.
Switching gears a little here, Rob. We are on a pace now for 1,000 more strikeouts than in any season, and 800 more strikeouts than in any season. I love the game, Rob. I'm a little worried there's too much of this going on. What can be done about this?
Well, I think that it's important for us to be a little more aggressive about managing what's going on the field. There's been a lot of conversation among ownership. I think we need to move it past the conversation stage, and we need to get into a room with the MLBPA and get an agreement on making some changes. Obviously, they're an integral part of the process. They have not been, let me say, enthusiastic in their embracing of change, and I understand that. You know, I mean, it can affect people's livelihoods, but I think we all need to be cognizant of the fact that the game is changing by itself, and we have a responsibility to manage that change.
And given the relationship between Major League Baseball and Little League, so Little League has a lot of these innovations. I mean, there was a rumor they were going to maybe bring one of the automated strike zones to a consolation game. They start a runner at second base in a tie game in the 8th inning. There are a variety of other things that they do that Major League Baseball has at least sort of raised the idea. Is there one idea that Little League does or has talked about that perhaps you can see adopting?
Well, look, I think of the ideas you just mentioned, and Little League has expressed an interest in it. I think the automated strike zone could be really helpful to us. I think it would produce a consistency around the strike zone. I think our umpires do a great job, but they're human. And we do have the technology, and I think an automated strike zone would put you in a position to manage that strike zone. Where should it be exactly to produce the amount of offense that you want? I think that could be a very important change.
How close are you to being comfortable with the technology?
I'm very comfortable with the technology itself. I think that the experiment that we've run in the Atlantic League has been successful. There's little quirks around the edges that we have to work our way out, but they are not technology quirks. They're about how you take the technology, give it to the human being, and let the human being make a decision.
And as an ex-player, Rob, I love that. I would have really enjoyed an automatic strike zone. Hopefully that happens.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
It's great to see you guys as always, and thanks for being here with us. We really, you know, you guys help make this event what it is, and we appreciate it.
We enjoy it more than you do, I promise. More than you do. We love it. We have much more on a great day. To Rob's point, I mean, look at Anthony Rizzo's smile as he came burning down that hill. David Ross laid some shoes down there to breaks, and then a couple of guys, including this one, they're like wiped out Rossi.
T-Mobile partners with MLB to bring fans everywhere closer to the game, allowing fans to share highlights that seem impossible and memories that become unforgettable. Because baseball is more than a sport. It's America's game, and it's on America's network. T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of baseball fans.
This is what it comes down to.
Wartime.
You can't buy us.
This was kind of against my principles.
Frank, you don't have principles.
You knew the risks when you decided to drive drunk. There could be a crash. People could get hurt or killed. You could get arrested. But one thing's for sure, you were wrong when you said it was no big deal.
Introducing the Impossible Whopper with a patty made from plants, no beef.
No beef.
I've never had plant taste like beef before.
Tastes like a Whopper. Tastes like a Whopper. Tastes like a beef burger.
Lies!
Introducing the Impossible Whopper, available nationwide, only at Burger King.
Lowe's knows you do it right by finding the best deals on paint and stain. We do it right too, with big savings on top brands like Valspar, Cabot, and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams. The time is right at Lowe's. Get top-rated one-coat paint starting at $35.98. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Why choose Invisalign over other aligners?
Are they comfortable and safe to wear?
I asked her doctor for a better alternative to braces, and he said,
only Invisalign aligners are made with Smart Track technology.
Based on years of research, it moves teeth more comfortably and predictably than ordinary aligners. And in many cases, it works faster than braces. So I can develop a custom treatment plan that'll work for each of these smiles.
That's why Invisalign aligners have transformed millions of smiles.
Invisalign, transforming smiles, changing lives.
This is what it comes down to.
Wartime.
You can't buy us.
This was kind of against my principles.
Frank, you don't have principles.
What are we playing to this time?
How about a game of MVP?
415 to right field.
Right field with the Kirk Gibson trough. Seat 15.
That's an M.
Dodger dogs all day.
Woo! Extra kraut, please. Foul pull.
That looks like a V.
All tied up. Looks like I win MVP again.
Let's run it back.
Here's to the Little Leaguers, reminding us why we love this game. There's only big hearts and big plays here. A field teeming with sportsmanship and dreams off the scale. That's why the seats are always filled, the hill overtaken, and the roar of the crowd perfect. Here's to the Little League World Series on the networks of ESPN.
Baseball Tonight, Sunday Night Countdown, is presented by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Name that stat. FIP.
I've heard of it. No clue.
Got nothing.
Who cares about FIP?
Nope. Fielding innings pitched.
The first inning pitcher. Fastball and I don't know.
Fielding independent pitching.
Yeah, that's dumb.
WOBA.
Who cares?
Wins. I don't know.
Have no clue. Never even heard of that one, to be honest.
Walks on base average.
Weighted on base adjustment.
It's like weighted on base average. Don't know what it means.
UZR.
I got nothing.
No.
No idea.
Who cares? I've never seen a Z in anything.
Ultimate zone rating.
Gosh, it's like a video game. Ultimate Zone. Like, what are we doing here?
WRC plus.
Weighted runs scored. Weighted runs counted.
Weighted run control. Is it something like wins above replacement? Close to that or not quite? No. Okay, then I had no clue.
Wins.
Weighted runs created plus or whatever.
Weighted runs created.
Weighted runs created.
Do you know how to get that number?
I don't think that all those are extremely applicable.
The guy doesn't score, he doesn't score. And I think that's the whole point about the game.
It's gone a little too far.
I just like to go out there and play baseball.
Name that stat. Never something that is done with 100% certainty. I tell you one thing, earlier today, Anthony Rizzo is 100% certain this is going to go really well. He hopped on that thing quicker than you hopped on that.
And he told me I was not leaving Williamsport without going down that hill on a piece of cardboard.
All right, Rossi, Joe Madden, bring that thing back up here. Jim Beam raised right, and that has to do with Anthony Rizzo, who played in Parkland in Little League, and he and his dad have a special relationship. 212 homers, which is ranking him third. RBIs, 701. So the roots were early, and the seed grew into an all-star baseball player. Anthony Rizzo, that was his first season back in 2012, and look at what he has done since then, along with, of course, winning a World Series. All right, so let's learn a little bit more about the young Anthony Rizzo.
Rizzo, a name made famous in Chicago, but deeply rooted in Parkland, Florida, where Anthony Rizzo learned the game from his father, John.
I was glad I had boys. I wasn't allowed to play ball in the house when I was a kid. Like, my father was like, no ball. So I always said, if I have kids, that's it, we're playing ball all the time.
As a child, I would see someone doing something, and I would want to do it too, and I would want to do it better.
I learned how to play golf, so I chip and they'd catch him with their mitts. That's when I knew Anthony was good. Catch everything I hit at him.
So this park right here, we're about to pull up to in a second, used to be called Quigley Field. This is the field that I used to play t-ball on when we first started living here. The ongoing thing here in Parkland is from Quigley to Wrigley.
Watch the pop-up, you guys!
I bought him a pitching machine when he was 5. I was pitching to him, and he'd swing like 5 times, and then he'd take a step up. Then he'd take 5 more swings, then he'd take a step up. And it got to be a joke. Like, he'd be like 5 feet from the machine, and he'd still be hitting it. You can see how bad he wanted it. Really bad.
Best t-ball story, I was receiving communion that day, so I went there in my communion white suit, played, and then went to communion.
He wanted to be a catcher. He was a lefty catcher. This is not child abuse. He turned his head a lot, so I said, you want to be a catcher, you can't turn your head. The pitching machine only went 60 miles an hour, so I duct taped him to the fence with all his catcher's gear on and shot balls to his helmet. So after that, he wouldn't turn his head.
Baseball has never been a priority. It was never like a thing that I had to do. It was just something I loved to do.
And I used to say it to him, Ant, you're gonna be a Major League Baseball player. And he'd get pissed off at me. Dad, every father says that to their son. Stop saying that. I said, you'll see.
Dad was right. Rizzo was drafted by the Red Sox in 2007 and made his MLB debut 4 years later with the Padres.
San Diego welcomes this 21-year-old phenom. Hits that one deep to left center field. The light ball is off the wall, and on his way for 3 is the kid Rizzo, and he is in there. Oh, my.
So we made it to the pros. He said to me, Dad, do me a favor. If I need you, I'll call you. I don't go to your work. Don't come to my work and tell me what to do. So I said, all right, I won't say nothing until you call me. Every once in a while, he'll call me up and say, Dad, okay, all right. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Oh, what do you mean? Why am I hitting the ball? So then I go into it. All right, I watch you every day. Just move this foot a hair, stand up like this, don't go back, and he'd listen to everything. We don't have a lot of those moments, but when I do, it's better than when I was coaching him when he was a little kid.
Well, there's two things that I gleaned from that. A, the dedication that Dad had to the whole project, and just the idea that he had a lot of his own passion. I mean, those are two critical elements here.
Yeah, I mean, you got to love the game. I always tell people, if you want to be successful in baseball, you have to love the game. You don't necessarily have to be, it's the only thing you do.
Right.
But when you're on the field, show that joy, show that passion, because you do have to work hard. And when I watch Anthony Rizzo play, that's what I see. I see him enjoy the game. And listen, being consistent and one of the best players in baseball over the last 5 years, that helps.
And I asked him today, what were you like when you were 12 years old? And he said, we played to have so much fun. He said, when I was the catcher, we had a special pitcher on our team who used to airmail the catcher on purpose, throw it off the backstop, and we would run a play to get the guy out trying to advance because we knew how that backstop play worked.
Right. Now you see some of the Little League teams now filing in here, the team from the Europe, Africa region, and what a treat it is for these boys who rarely, if ever, get a chance to see major leaguers. Italy, maybe that's on the radar for Major League Baseball. Your favorite MLB teams and players, their favorite swag. Catch all 30 teams sporting nicknames on specially designed jerseys and rocking some custom gear during what is this Players Weekend from August 23rd to the 5th. Follow MLB on social media for all Players Weekend coverage. There's the team from New Jersey, currently in a game that's being suspended. They were beaten by Hawaii 6-zip when the lightning came and the skies opened up. They'll be right back at it tomorrow.
Fall in love with thousands of brands with Prime Wardrobe.
This is what it comes down to. Wartime.
You can't buy us.
This was kind of against my principles.
Frank, you don't have principles.
The King served people his new $1 crispy taco.
Burger King taco. I didn't know they made tacos.
It's super crispy.
It definitely hits the spot. It's a flavorful taco.
You mean to tell me it's only $1?
Talk about a surprise. It's Burger King's new $1 crispy taco. Only at Burger King.
At Skechers Footwear, we know the dangers of a slip and fall are a leading cause of workplace injuries. Protect yourself with Skechers slip-resistant traction outsoles with water and stain-resistant uppers and air-cooled memory foam insoles for all-day comfort. Skechers, where safety meets comfort.
Thanks for coming all this way to get me. No worries. Do you have everything? Yeah, I think so. Ran out of that car so fast. It's hard to tell. I haven't seen it like that in forever. Let's get you checked in.
Treating others like we'd like to be treated has always been our guiding principle.
This is what it comes down to. Wartime.
You can't buy us.
This was kind of against my principles.
Frank, you don't have principles.
We're always ready. Tell us when you're ready. We mean it, we said it. You started, we did it. We're always ready. We're always ready. I want it all, and I want it now.
With the Grubhub delivery app, if you want it all, you can get it all. Grubhub, restaurants you love, delivered.
To all of the people questioning right now, questioning what kind of salad costs $14? How do people just buy a house? Should I put this all on my card and get the points? How can I get my credit score to go up? Wait, am I supposed to be investing? Can I afford to fight this? Can I afford to do this? Can I afford the extra guacamole? To all those simply questioning, where do I go with all these questions? We've got your back. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds.
All right.
Spicy tuna roll.
Nice.
Can
before you roll?
Sushi.
I take it.
Delivering from over 95,000 restaurants nationwide. If you want it all, you can get it all. Grubhub. Restaurants you love delivered.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Baseball Tonight's Sunday Night Countdown. It is presented by Chevrolet. Commissioner, his right-hand man, Tony Petitti. Just saw Derek Holland walk by us here. We go back to the highlights here, and the Dodgers and the Braves. And Cody's hot again. When isn't Cody hot? 4 homers last 6. Max Fried, dead central.
I have an MVP vote for the National League, and I think he's still got to be the leader at this point, although there are great competitors for that award.
Including
this guy right there. Right there is one of them.
He came so close, Ronald Acuna Jr., to having that 42nd of the year for Bellinger. Dodgers up 3-0. Acuna's day and its rough part would continue. Man on, nobody out. Hits one to right field. Now, he's kind of standing there, bats extended like he thought this was out of there, and it wasn't.
And there is no reason that Ronald Acuna shouldn't be on second base here. And guys, we see home runs hit every single day into the second deck. When you hit into the second deck, then you can watch it go over.
All right, very next batter, Ozzie Albies. Acuna trying to steal second, and he is out at second base. All right, so between the 4th and 5th inning, the manager, Brian Snitker, would pull Acuna Jr. from the game. We'll hear from the manager in a second. Then we'll discuss that whole thing. Rafael Ortega, bases loaded. 3, 2, 1. Woo!
And this is huge for the Braves. They've had a lot of injuries in their outfield. For a guy like Ortega to step up and get this grand slam, huge.
Big win over the Dodgers. So what's up with the Acuna move?
Yeah, he didn't run. You know, you got to run. You got to, you know, it's just not going to be acceptable here. I mean, as a teammate, you're responsible for 24 other guys. And that name on the front is a lot more important than the name on the back. You can't do that. We're trying to accomplish something and do something special here. Personal things got to be put in the back burner. You know, you can't let your team down like that.
I love every minute of that, and I'm sure that's a message that you wish Little Leaguers could hear, too. It is way more about the name on the front than it is on the back. A, do you agree with it? And then secondly, sort of how does it move forward from something like that?
I 100% agree with it, and this is the Braves' way. This is one of the reasons the Braves are one of the consistent best organizations in baseball, because they don't accept this stuff. It started with Bobby Cox and what he did with Andrew Jones 20 years ago, and it continues to a guy like Ronald Acuna, who may be the most talented player in baseball. And Brian Snitker and his coaching staff are letting Ronald Acuna understand, hey, you're great, but that's unacceptable. I love what he did today.
There is no way he should not be standing on second base on that play. And this is the big leagues, and yet we don't ever punish any players anymore. We don't yell at players anymore, and sometimes you need to do that. I'm 100% behind Brian Snitker doing this, and I'm going to guess Ronald Acuna Jr. is not going to do this again anytime soon when you get embarrassed like that.
Yeah, and there's a mutual respect between Snitker and Acuna that, listen, Ronald Acuna is going to be a Hall of Fame type player. He's probably thanking Snit after the game, saying, you know what, Brian, I wish I could have stayed in the game, but thank you.
No doubt, level of accountability, and I think the reaction of pointing to me like me, okay, I get it, I screwed up. Brewers and the Nationals, a wild game last night. 29 runs scored, 15-14, Brewers win it. You figure, Tex, after a night like that, your offense is going to take a day off. Not the case for the Nats today.
And this Nats offense is so scary. Every single day, it's somebody different. A guy like Matt Adams. Oh, yeah, remember him? He's a good hitter. Every single day, they have a chance to put up 10-plus runs.
19 homers for Adams, 16 for Victor Robles.
Right, and 8 homers today for the Nationals, which ties the franchise record. That's Nationals and Expos. That's the day after the onslaught yesterday.
Was it something in the air, or is it just the baseball, or the combination of both?
This is every day. It's not 8 homers every day, but something crazy home run-wise happens every day now.
But there's also some momentum that the Nationals have right now. Here, Rendon, who is another one of those MVP candidates. But you know, they came in today only 5.5 games behind the Braves in the NL East. They can smell it.
Rendon's got 27. The Nationals lead at 12-zip. Remember, they scored 14, so this is 26 runs now in less than 24 hours. And here's Juan Soto, and he's going to hit his 28th.
We're going to see this guy hitting a lot of home runs in the future, Timmy.
And again, plate discipline that he has at this age, together with the power he has, That is a breathtaking combination.
And remember, this is the year without Bryce Harper. This is the post-Bryce Harper year. A lot of people said the outfield's going to be a little bit better. The team's going to be a little bit better. Harper's clearly making contributions, but they are certainly surviving. We welcome you again to our Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown Show. It is currently 6 o'clock in the East, well produced by Greg Colley. Here we are on camera. It's the top of the hour. Mark Teixeira, Tim Kirkshin. We are in a unique spot that is historic Bowman Field in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, all part of the MLB Little League Classic. Back to the game we just showed the highlights of. I mean, the Nats are a legit for a while. It was Dodgers. Everyone, the Nats are right there with their pitching and offense.
We're talking about their offense right now, but their pitching staff is what's going to, if they are a World Series contender, if they get hot the last 2 months of the season in October, it's going to be because of their pitching staff. But you have a dominant starting pitching staff and an offense like this, if they could just get the bullpen right, they would be a contender.
They got to get Scherzer right, obviously, and you're right. Then they got to fix the bullpen, and then they are extremely dangerous.
So a couple of ifs. They got to get those ifs taken care of. St. Louis Cardinals have played pretty good baseball. Paul Goldschmidt and company, and the Redbirds are down 1-0 with a man on first, and Goldie says not anymore.
And the reason that the Cardinals, or one of the reasons the Cardinals are tied for first place in the NL Central is Paul Goldschmidt. Started off a little slow, but he's been on a tear the last 6 weeks.
Birds and a batter up 2-1. Bottom 9, Carlos Martinez. Remember Carmart?
Got great stuff. They just got to find the perfect spot for him. He's been awfully good as the closer here lately, but got in a little trouble today.
Tex, that was a good pitch, wasn't it?
I mean, good pitches get hit nowadays, Carl. It doesn't matter where you throw it. These big league hitters can hit.
5-4. That's filthy on the back door. Brian O'Grady looking 2 down. Eugenio Suarez checks swing. Oh, punched out, and Martinez gets it done.
Big win for the Cardinals.
Win it again by a final score of 5-4. How about those New York Mets? Took a good night last night. They had DeGrom on the mound. Didn't start great for the Mets, but Michael Conforto did go deep here in the first, and they were up 3-0.
And Michael Conforto has turned into that guy that Mets fans have been waiting for a long time. He is a legitimate power threat.
The same can be said about Pete Alonso, swinging a drive to right. And the Polar Bear, foul territory, padding and everything, doink. Rosario would score from second. The Mets lead it by a score of 7-4.
And Joe Madden volunteered us 3 weeks ago. The Mets have a really good offensive team. No one even asked him, and he told us that. And right now, he's right.
0-2, Jacob Barnes. You can't go there.
How much fun is this guy to watch it? I mean, he does it all, and the smile on his face after he hits those big homers. It's just fun to watch.
Big innings for the Mets, big wins for the Mets. Back-to-back, beating the team they should beat in the Kansas City Royals. Yep, Padres and Phillies. All right, Gene Segura, it was brutally hot in Pennsylvania. We know that. This one ripped up the middle. We're not stopping at first either.
And Gene Segura's got that energy. You love to watch him play. That's just a little bit of a lazy atmosphere there in outfield San Diego.
What are we doing?
Takes care of it.
Austin Hedges is up. Padres up 2-1. And this will be a shot down the right field line. Harper is there in right field. Now watch the young fan here. It's going to happen. Reach over for the ball. If it had touched, it would have been an automatic double for Hedges, but no touch. Harper, woo, a little sidearm piece.
What a nice play by Harper.
That's from his catching days when he'd run out from behind the plate and rifle a ball to first.
That was impressive. He would later leave the game with dehydration. Here is a 2-2 game. Hedges.
And just like many of these teams, if the Phillies are going to make it to the playoffs, they got to figure out this bullpen. David Robertson out for the year. They got to figure out who's going to be that 7th, 8th, 9th guy.
Lot of injuries. By the way, happy birthday, Hedges. 27th birthday, 4 hits. Here is Cody. Here are the Dodgers and D-backs. And Bumgarner was on the mound. Adam Jones is hitting the baseball.
And that's Kevin Pillar playing a very deep center field this year. Couldn't get to that. It got by him. And this is the Giants trying to sweep the Diamondbacks.
Rojas to center.
How many times have we said the Giants are done? They keep coming back. They keep coming back. Only 2.5 games out of the wild card entering today. Still fighting there in San Francisco.
Pillar thought he had a double.
Well, he got 5 hits yesterday, 7 hits in his last 9 at-bats coming in. He lost one there. Great play.
In the 6th inning. So we focus so much on the wild card, and because it's so crowded, By the way, the National League Central is a great race, and all you have to do is look at the wild card and realize there are the Brewers, and you have the Mets now coming, the Phillies. There's way more than just a wild card race going on in the National League.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but the only team I feel really good about in the wild card race is the Nationals. And we talked earlier, the Nationals actually have a chance to gain on the Braves and win that division. Everybody else, it's a free-for-all.
And as for the Cubs, this is the most important game we played here in Williamsport because they're in a real pennant race now, and they have to win. So they're going to have to reset from all the time with the kids today and say, all right, we got an important game tonight.
President Theo Epstein, he's here. So is the general manager, Jed Hoyer. They're all on the field. So, in fact, there is Jed Hoyer. Wait a second. A couple of kids from the team from New Jersey. That's Yanni Mateo. He's nearly as big as you are. There's the manager.
Way better hitter than I am, too. Guy's a stud.
Were you great at 12? You were great at 12.
I was pretty good.
You were pretty good. It's pretty good.
He was great at 12.
Exactly. The American League playoff picture when we come back.
Snapple apple tastes just like apple. You guys aren't going to cover my face again, right? Nope. All right, cool.
Jenny can't take your call right now. She's taking a break from a job that's always on. But maybe the change Jenny needs is closer than she thinks.
At Domino's, we're more than just pizza for $5.99. We're $5.99 bread twists, $5.99 sandwiches, $5.99 pastas, $5.99 chicken, and yes, $5.99 pizza too. We didn't stop at pizza, and you don't have to either.
The only thing better than this bourbon are the friends you can't wait to share it with. Extra aged Jim Beam Black, the world's highest rated bourbon. Their words, not ours.
It's like I'm waking up, yeah. That blue is in the sky. And when you feel free.
Book now and enjoy free unlimited open bar and more. Norwegian Cruise Line. Feel free.
You know what they say about dairy. No one who dies here ever really dies.
Chapter 2, rated R. Lowe's knows you do it right by finding the best deals on paint and stain. We do it right too, with big savings on top brands like Valspar, Cabot, and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams. The time is right at Lowe's. Get top-rated one-coat paint starting at $35.98. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
T-Mobile partners with MLB to bring fans everywhere closer to the game. Allowing fans to share highlights that seem impossible and memories that become unforgettable. Because baseball is more than a sport. It's America's game, and it's on America's network. T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of baseball fans.
There's a certain tension this time of year. Players feel it. Fans feel it.
You ready?
Go time!
You ain't see nothing.
The joint is jumping. What's got into him? Game winner! What a time to come through in a pennant race.
You ain't see nothing.
Emotions so high.
With one swing wins the game. You ain't see nothing.
Oh, I am so sorry. What happened to you?
I was hit by a careless driver and hurt my shoulder.
You should contact Vandergent's Law.
Vandergrip.
Vandergentst.
Vandercrisp?
Vandergentst.
Vanderbrick? Vandergrint?
Vandergent's Law, the name to remember if you've been injured. If you forget the name, remember VLaw.com or 800-828-VLAW.
Vandergeest?
love imagining that new truck smell.
The Iowa Lottery Silverado Scratch Game has top prizes of $50,000. And if you don't win, play it again in the Summer of Silverado promotion for a chance to win a cash prize of $5,000 or one of 4 fun-riding, stuff-hauling, rock-and-rolling, fully loaded Chevy Silverados.
New truck smell?
You bet.
The big leaguers play, the kids watch and dream, and life and the game carries on in the Little League Classic.
Not even sure you can describe it as a dream come true, because I'm not sure if you're growing up outside the United States that you dream someday of being at a ballpark in which there are going to be major leaguers, let alone mingling with them. I just don't know if you can say dream come true. I mean, ultimately, you're living a dream.
Yeah, one of the bios today for the Little Leaguers said, my goal is to live the American dream. And this is part of it today as a kid getting to play in Williamsport.
Excellent team, adorable kids from Japan, and right now being entertained by one of the boys from Elizabeth, New Jersey in the Mid-Atlantic team. All right, American League pennant race, wild card stuff. Mike Freeman off CC Sabathia.
Mike Freeman, who was subbing for Jose Ramirez, getting a day off. Of course, it's the big home run.
3 innings for CC, 4 runs, 4 hits, 67 pitches. Francisco Lindor. Aaron Judge. Glasses went flying. The wall took a beating
Just
too.
ran out of room.
Lindor's 21st. It is a 5-0 game. There's our guy, Clev.
Timmy's hair used to look just like that, by the way.
I love Clev.
But Timmy never had stuff like this. I mean, Mike Clevenger's one of those guys where every time he steps on the mound, he's got a no-hit stuff.
Yeah.
Threw a lot of pitches, so he only went 5 today, but he was a dominant 5.
Gave up no runs, 3 hits, 10 strikeouts. And by the way, Carrasco and Kluber are coming. Astros, Alex Bregman. What a series this has been, by the way. The A's have really played Houston tough.
The A's are right in the middle of this wild card race. They won 97 games last year. They know where they are right now. And if they get a pitcher or two healthy, they can score with a lot of teams.
Great throw, Chad Pinder, Altuve gone, Fegley with the tag. Zach Greinke hasn't given up a hit in the 4th. Marcus Semien changes that. And in a 0-0 game, it's now 1-0.
Bob Melvin told us the other day that Marcus Semien's the most improved player I've ever been around. Wow. From where he started to where he is now.
All right, Bregman, he's got runners on. You saw the graphic there that he's great with runners on. He's got 30 homers.
And this is a big sigh of relief for the Astros here. I mean, they lost 5 straight going into today's game. 4-1 lead right now, making them feel better.
Bregman comes through. That game's still going on. Meantime, the Rays, and this is another team right in the middle of it, and they're not going anywhere. They are not leaving. Tommy Pham. Rays pull within 1-4-3 after being down 4-1.
Yeah, this is Rays baseball, right? They're never out of any single game. Kevin Cash and the Fighting Rays are always in there, doing something special every single day to try to figure out a win.
All right, Darno hustling down the line. Called safe. Brandon Dixon takes foot off.
You got to stay on the bag as a first baseman. It's close.
Would it come back to Hanum? Michael Brusso. Beckham. Cut off. Lugo didn't know where to go with it. We're loaded.
Yeah, when you only have 37 wins on the season, you're the Tigers, you just find ways to lose, just like the Rays find ways to win.
Man. 2 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. Rays pride. 5-4. What a win. That's a big win.
It's huge for them. They seem like they have like 35 guys on their roster because everyone plays and they all contribute.
The Red Sox still have a pulse, or are they dead?
I don't think they're making the playoffs, but they don't give up. I'll give them that.
It would be a heck of a run. But if you get to play the Orioles, every game against the Orioles, you're closer and closer to the playoffs.
Oh, man.
Ravi, this was 6-0.
I know.
Orioles at one point.
It was 6-0, and then ended up being 112-6. The Red Sox won 13-7. Rafael Devers had 4 RBIs, 100 in a season.
Right. And 100 RBIs, 100 runs scored at that age. age. The last Red Sox to do that at that age, Ted Williams.
And it's August 18th, gentlemen. It is August 18th, and Rafael Devers is putting up these type of numbers.
Fourth Red Sox player under 23 to have 100 RBIs in a single season. Think about Acuna, you think about Soto, you got to think about Devers. Boy, is the game in a great place when it comes to young baseball players. All right, coast to coast we go. It's presented by T-Mobile. Where are we heading? Texas, dealing with the Twins. Ooh, Shin-Soo Choo in the bottom of the 7th. We are tied. And they go to the top of the 8th, and they are tied. So the Twins feeling the drumbeat of Clevenger. And the Indians, hip, hip, Jorge. Polanco delivers, and the bases were stacked.
Tex, that is a relentless Minnesota lineup these days.
That's
very little way to pitch them.
You can't count them out. On paper, you would think that the Indians are the better team, but the Twins keep fighting, and they're still in first place.
So maybe the most telling part of all that, yes, the teams that are in it, but all of a sudden, you made mention of it at one point, the Yankees are sitting there with 43 losses in the race for home field, which is going to be a big deal. They got a little bit now of some wiggle room here.
Yeah, they do have some wiggle room, and this is why this is a big deal. I'm going to assume that the Indians are going to win the AL Central. If you don't have home field, you have to play the Indians in a 5-game series. With their starting pitching, I do not want to play them in that short series. So home field advantage, you'll play the winner of the wild card game. And let's just say that's the A's or the Rays and the Twins. I like my chances against those teams more than the Indians.
At home, sure.
And Corey Kluber will be back for the playoffs if they make it. And even though he wasn't great before he got hurt this year, he's going to be way more rested in October than he's been the last few Octobers. And that could be great news for the Indians.
This is Corey making his 3rd rehab start today with Columbus AAA. So we have seen Kluber. Carlos Carrasco also on the come. To me, if you watch the Indians, though, I'm going to assume that those guys are going to pitch again. When I see Ramirez doing what he's doing, Lindor bopping around like he's healthy, Kipnis hitting, to me, the offense is sort of the thing that's come around.
Well, look at the 4-game series against the Yankees. The first night they scored 19 runs. They lose 2 very close kind of heartbreaker games, and then come back today again and score 9 runs again.
Right.
So this Indians team, the offense had been their Achilles heel the first 2 months. Yeah. Now they're rolling.
And Ramirez is back as a really good hitter.
No doubt.
Puig is, and Franmil Reyes, I saw him again the other day. He weighs 275, and he's got power to right center.
That's a long way.
That's a joke.
All right, your guy Joe Madden just walked out. He has his Players Week only jersey, which says Broad Street Joe. Tip of the cap to his buddy Joe Namath. Tuesday, 10 o'clock Eastern time. It is the Yankees and the A's. And Wednesday, it is the Yankees and the A's. Baseball tonight will lead into that. Of course, you go Little League baseball tonight. Is that you, Kirkshin? Are you out there, Yankees, A's, or is that somebody else this week?
That's not me.
That is not Kirkshin. All right, sorry, people at home. Got you excited for a second. Nope, Tim's going to be with us at the Little League World Series for a while. Yeah, who knows that? Chris Archer, what a role he played today. Interviewing kids, talking to them on the bus. Beautiful. Your favorite MLB teams and players, their favorite swag. All 30 teams sporting nicknames on specially designed jerseys, and you get some custom gear during this Players Weekend. Follow MLB on social media for all Players Weekend coverage. Hi, there he is. I love it. Broad Street Joe. We will talk Chicago Cubs.
With Hall of Famer Mike Mussina.
We have Mike Mussina when we come back.
Best singer on the team.
Best singer? Jeez. We don't really have any good singers.
Me. Riz loves karaoke, and he's always on the mic, so he's definitely up there.
Riz would like to think he's the best singer. Not Tony.
Riz is probably the best just because he has no shame.
Does a lot of karaoke. I know he wants that credit, but I'm not going to give it to him. But I'll give it to Riz.
Not many else come to mind in that one.
I don't think anybody's a good singer on this team.
In baseball, every move matters. Each action, each player impacts the next. This season, when there is a stolen base opportunity, Statcast AI powered by AWS will calculate and analyze thousands of data points per second in real time to predict the probability of a successful stolen base.
Throw to second, not in time, he's safe!
See how AI technology will give you new insights into the game.
Who
MLB fans, what? Need more accuracy in the game. But how? Backed by AWS, Statcast AI uses a missile radar system. That wasn't just a strike, Chief. It was a strike with a spin rate of 2,335 RPMs, dropping knowledge like a baseball bounce. With the most functionality and experience, AWS is how companies like Major League Baseball build on.
5 important facts. 1, crude oil is crude. 2, natural gas is pure. 3, Pennzoil is the first motor oil made from natural gas, not crude. 4, it gives you unbeatable engine protection. And 5, you can't beat that. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Available at AutoZone and AutoZone.com.
Introducing the Impossible Whopper with a patty made from plants, no beef.
No beef. I've never had plant taste like beef before.
Tastes like a Whopper. Tastes like Whopper. Tastes like a beef burger.
Lies!
Introducing the Impossible Whopper. Available nationwide, only at Burger King.
You knew the risks when you decided to drive drunk. There could be a crash. People could get hurt or killed. You could get arrested. But one thing's for sure, you were wrong when you said it was no big deal.
The proud son of an immigrant father, John Hernandez found his own path through a field of smoke. When wildfires threatened communities, John jumped into danger, fighting through fear and fatigue until the fire was contained. John found his fighting spirit in one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, a job few are willing to do. Since 1925, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters what you're made of. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
Why choose Invisalign over other aligners?
Only Invisalign treatment uses Smart Track technology. It moves teeth more comfortably and predictably than ordinary aligners, so I could create custom treatment plans for every smile.
I was born to play baseball, but where I'm from, we never take anything for granted. I was raised to value hard work and to practice respect. I still call my parents before every game, and my dad is still my hero. Maybe I'm not what everyone wants me to be, but I'm exactly who I've always been. Some say I'm the best to play the game. Me? I just want to play.
MLS Heineken Rivalry Week is on. Say it loud. The best go big.
From Zlatan, it's fantastic!
Rivalries run high. Let them know, we're not playing games. This time is personal.
Joseph Martinez!
Get set for MLS Heineken Rivalry Week. Thursday is Sporting KC versus Minnesota United FC at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN.
This is Baseball Tonight, Sunday Night Countdown. It is presented by Chevrolet. Along with Tim Kirkshin, Mark Teixeira, I'm Carl Rabbits. Welcome back. Of course, the MLB Little League Classic is tonight, so you have teams from all over. The 16 teams that made it to Williamsport dotting the stands here at historic Bowman Field. From the southeast, the team from South Riding, Virginia, and boy, have they been ridiculously good. Their first game, no-hitter. Their second game, Colton Hicks against Minnesota. Lines one to center field. That's going to get down. That's going to go to the wall. It's 7-0.
Is Virginia the best American team we've seen? Is that clear?
They're the best we've seen so far, but there's another one called Hawaii that's really good. That's Maddie Frecking, by the way, the 6th female pitcher to pitch at the Little League World Series. She was good. She got a strikeout, made an incredible play in the field as well. Justin Lee was the story, though. In a 4-inning game due to the 10-run rule, they didn't give up a hit again. So, yeah, 2 games, no hits. Qualifies you as one of the best.
And the Japanese team, 2 games, no walks for their pitchers. Incredible. 2 Little League games.
Here's the Hawaii team, won their first game. This is Jaron Pasquale. That's over the wall, only the 2nd home run at Lamedy so far this week. And Hawaii takes a 1-0 lead against a really good New Jersey team. Nicholas Nishiwa comes in as a pinch hitter and boink right off the bat, double down the line.
Another reminder, this game is open to all shapes and sizes. There's some really little kids here who can really play.
And then that happened. Ooh, we hate the rain. It is 6-0. We will resume that game at 1 o'clock. 6 outs to go for Hawaii to get a win. Jerickson's Profar brother, Jerdrick, looks like he could be in the major leagues. He's huge.
And there are so many good players that have come out of Curacao over the years. Profar he looks like he's 25 years old already.
Yes.
Throwing a gem right here.
Outstanding. 3 innings. He gave up just a couple of hits. They took him out. And this is Inwan Na to Shendrion Martinez. Last out of the game. South Korea just keeps on winning. They, Hawaii, Japan, the teams you'd expect, they do return. They do play well. 4-0, a victory there. Mexico and Japan. This is Yuto Kakiba, and he was just dealing.
This is the game that I did. Again, they have no walks, 22 strikeouts in 2 games by the Japanese pitchers.
And the most majestic home run we've seen this week
was right here. Watch this, Tex. Very little stride.
Oh, my
Gets the ball up, and look where that thing lands.
So if you hit it there, you're allowed to watch it. But he still ran. Acuna should have watched that one.
About 300 feet of home run right there for Kakiba as Japan won the game by a score of 5-0.
Is that Mike Messina?
It's not, although he is here. No, that's Joey Musgrove. He's signing some autographs, and yes, Players Weekend, August 23rd to the 25th. Follow MLB on social media for all Players Weekend coverage. Joe Madden today bounced a couple of first pitches, and then he came to the booth and said, I used to throw a football 100 yards in the air.
And Joe Namath was his favorite. Yes. He used to wear white spikes when Joe was a quarterback in high school. He loved number 12.
No doubt. And the way the Cubs embrace this whole thing, that comes from their leader, Joe Madden. He also got on the cardboard and slid down. We'll talk about some Buccos Little League memories when we come back.
My favorite part about playing Little League Baseball, I think, honestly, had to have been just being a kid, having fun with my friends, going to the baseball field and not caring how my mechanics look, how my fundamentals look. I just wanted to have fun with my friends and looking forward to the snack after the game.
Getting a little escape from the everyday routine of, going to school, doing homework, eating with family, just getting out with the same guys every weekend and being able to unplug and have fun with the game.
I remember the opening day ceremonies in our town were real fun. It's kind of a big deal. You got to walk around in a parade, so there's a lot of really good memories from Little League Baseball.
The friendships that I made, the camaraderie, I have a lot of lifelong memories from those times.
Recognize these? Sweet, fluffy King's Hawaiian buns. You should. They're the same craveable little buns you get from the store. Recognize these? Arby's $1.49 King's Hawaiian sliders featuring Hawaiian barbecue chicken. You shouldn't because they're brand new. So if you do recognize them, somebody leaked it. Who are you working for?
Arby's.
Oh. A little paranoid today.
Arby's, we have the meats. This is a payday bar, and there's only one thing you need to know about it. It has a truckload of peanuts surrounding sweet caramel. I mean, holy, look at all those peanuts. Best part is it helps you get through your day. Payday, get to it.
Trees swaying in the summer breeze, showing off their silver leaves as we walk by. Soft kisses on a summer's day, laughing all our cares away.
Norwegian's Free at Sea lets you choose up to 5 free offers, like free unlimited open bar, free shore excursions, friends and family sail free, and more. Your next vacay awaits from just $1.99. Norwegian Cruise Line. Feel free.
We're pretty different.
We're all unique in our own ways.
Somos muy diferentes.
Verizon knows everyone in your family is different.
There are so many of us doing so many different things.
That's why Verizon lets everyone mix and match different unlimited plans.
Sebastian's the gamer. This is my office.
And now with more plans, everyone gets what they need without paying for things they don't. New plans start at just $35.
The plan is so reasonable, they could stay on for the rest of their lives.
Did you get that on camera?
The network more people rely on gives you more.
Here's to the Little Leaguers, reminding us why we love this game. There's only big hearts and big plays here. A field teeming with sportsmanship and dreams off the scale. That's why the seats are always filled, the hill overtaken, and the roar of the crowd perfect. Here's to the Little League World Series on the networks of ESPN.
To all of the people questioning right now, questioning what kind of salad costs $14? How do people just buy a house? Should I put this all on my card and get the points? How can I get my credit score to go up? Wait, am I supposed to be investing? Can I afford to fight this? Can I afford to do this? Can I afford the extra guacamole? To all those simply questioning, where do I go with all these questions? We've got your back. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds.
Tell them we're flexible. Don't worry. My Dutch is okay. Just okay? Mm-hmm. Deze man is erg super. Tell him we need this merger. En hij heeft een knuffel nodig. Knuffel? It's happening.
Just okay is not okay, especially when it comes to your network. AT&T is America's best wireless network. And now get the option of Spotify Premium on us with your unlimited plan. More for your thing. That's our thing.
You're watching Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown. It is presented by Chevrolet.
Get out of here. Get out of here. It is gone. A walk-off game winner for Santana. Aristides. No one has done what this guy is doing.
It has been some start to this game for Clayton Kershaw.
7 consecutive strikeouts.
Acuna Jr., true 5-tool player.
What more could you ask for? White Sox and Angels at the Diamond.
That's Trout. It is swimming upstream, avoiding all the flies. Bellinger hits his 41st. 5 hours, 41 minutes, 14 innings. Brewers win it, 15-14.
And we continue, and that is Bowman Field, about 5 miles away from the Little League World Series complex. The Cubs and Pirates were both over there today, and obviously they've made their way here. You see Jason Hayward, he's getting set for the Cubbies with the nicknames on the back. Nobody, by the way, has enjoyed the Little League World Series more than David Ross, who now joins us on our set as well. And there are a lot of things that stood out this week, including 30 seconds ago, you screaming at Anthony Rizzo, I love you, I love you. And what did he do to you?
Hey, wait, you stink. Still getting ripped.
You are really enjoying this. All right, so let's go over it, because there was a lot of real meaningful moments. What stood out to you this week?
For me, it was Bryce Harper's walk-off grand slam. And not only because of the energy in that ballpark and the energy that Harper showed running around the bases, but it's a glimpse into Philly fans what Bryce Harper can mean to this team down the stretch. They're a couple games back of a wild card spot right now. If Bryce Harper can get hot, he can make this team a contender. He can lead them to the World Series.
You know, for all the knocks on Harper, the one thing you remember about him doing that is how much the dude wants to win. Like, that guy wants to win every time. And I'm not saying everybody doesn't, but he really does wear it on his sleeve. How about you?
Well, Yasiel Puig is a very playful guy, and he had a little bit of fun with a little leaguer here this week named Delvis. And watch, this is the little league kid who gets down that much in the stands, and Puig says, all right, I'm going to do the same thing as a tribute to the kid in the little league. Sadly, that's what I look like when I don't crouch down.
It also shows how much these big leaguers watch the Little League World Series.
And they love this time of year.
And Davis Ordonez from Panama got a strike called against him. And Yasiel Puig had a strike called against him. All right, so as the players sort of mingle with the Little Leaguers, just another amazing moment that these kids are enjoying. We all got a chance to share an amazing moment with the Bloom family from Minnesota. They were in the middle of the game. The head manager is Mr. Bloom. His son Dylan is on the bases, and the wife Jen is sitting in the stands. About 48 hours after she was finally cleared to travel, she got a chance to witness this.
My son has said since he was 5 that he will be at Williamsport. As parents, you know, we want to make their dream happen. And we were definitely tested this year. January 4th, I was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. I was given 24 hours to tell my family and my kids, and I was back in the hospital January 6th for 48 days. Tuesday I was cleared. I went to the doctor. They said, go ahead. I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Here's the throw home, and Dylan is safe at home. How about that, Mom?
Yes, yes. This is why I'm here. This is why my husband became a single parent for everything but 3 months. This is why my husband cared for me every single day. This is why we do this.
An incredible moment. It brings tears to your eyes every time you see it. Greg Bloom had to be at home for months at a time being a single dad, and here she is getting a chance to see that.
You're starting again. I'm starting again. We were up in the booth. So we couldn't say anything when we got back on camera because it was that emotional of a moment. You heard her talk about what Greg had meant to her family, what he had been through, and calling and checking on her, taking her meds, changing her lines. What a great moment for just all of baseball, but to see her witness, she just got cleared Tuesday to be able to get here and all her bone marrow treatments. It was an amazing moment in Little League Baseball.
This personifies what the Little League World Series is about, that scene right there. And when she said, this is why we do this, it just brings a tear to your eyes.
And for the kids at home, man, Mom and Dad love you so much.
Yes.
You've got to understand, they love you so much. We saw that with Anthony Rizzo's dad. We see it with the Bloom family. We see it all over the Little League World Series. A little Statcast AI powered by AWS. You take a look at the kids from Europe, Africa, and boy, they are from everywhere. Jose Quintana is going to be on the mound for the Chicago Cubs. You see the use of the curveball, Rossi, that he has used the last couple of years against righties and lefties, and boy, against lefties, it has been filthy. He's on the mound against Mr. Keller of the Pittsburgh Pirates. How about these Little League memories and how they come flooding back for everybody?
Little League Baseball is so much fun. You're playing as kids the way the game's supposed to be played, the way I try to play the game every day as a little kid. When you see the Little League World Series being played, it brings out so many fun memories of when you were young.
When you go back to Little League, it's back to the whole moment you wanted to play baseball in general, why you like to be able to do it in your backyard, why you couldn't wait to do it with your friends after school.
I love where the game's going in terms of, playing in Williamsport and supporting the Little League World Series. All that is just great for our game, great to be there with some of the youngsters out there wanting to be where we're at someday.
I know just being around all those kids, that's what it's all about, giving back. We were all there at one point, we idolized all these guys in the big leagues, so going back to kind of give back and just be a part of that environment, I think it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be, one of those games that, we're never going to forget.
Dear Tech,
let's talk.
We have a pretty good relationship.
You've done a lot of good for the world.
But I feel like you have the potential to do so much more. Can we build AI without bias?
How do we bake security into everything we do?
We need tech that helps people understand each other.
That understands my business.
We've got some work to do.
And we need your help.
We need your support.
Let's expect more from technology.
Let's put smart to work.
Introducing the new Eat and Play combo at Dave & Buster's. Your choice of 10 craveable menu items plus a $10 game card starting at $18.99. The new Eat and Play combo, only at Dave & Buster's.
Dad promised, but now they have to move again. All because of his job. But maybe Dad will get to keep his promise.
Introducing the Impossible Whopper with a patty made from plants, no beef.
No beef.
I've never had plant taste like beef before.
Tastes like a Whopper. Tastes like a Whopper. Tastes like a beef burger.
Lies! Introducing the Impossible Whopper, available nationwide, only at Burger King.
It's a beautiful piece of land, so why haven't you started building?
Tyler's off to college.
Yeah, and Mom's getting older.
And eventually we would like to retire.
TD Ameritrade can help you build a plan for today and tomorrow.
Come with a goal, leave with a plan. TD Ameritrade.
Will Invisalign aligners really work for my smile?
Is there a better alternative to braces?
Only Invisalign aligners use SmartTrack technology.
It moves teeth more comfortably and predictably, and in many cases, it works faster than braces.
T-Mobile partners with MLB to bring fans everywhere closer to the game. Allowing fans to share highlights that seem impossible and memories that become unforgettable. Because baseball is more than a sport. It's America's game, and it's on America's network. T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of baseball fans.
Lowe's knows you do it right by finding the best deals on paint and stain. We do it right too, with big savings on top brands like Valspar, Cabot, and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams. The time is right at Lowe's. Get top-rated one-coat paint starting at $35.98. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
You knew the risks when you decided to drive drunk. There could be a crash. People could get hurt or killed. You could get arrested. But one thing's for sure, you were wrong when you said it was no big deal.
Mi padre me enseñó este juego y mi hermana me inspiró a conquistarlo. Pero mientras desarrollaba mis habilidades, yo definía mi estilo. Le daba homenaje a mi casa. Yo encontré mi voz en medio de la magia del juego. They call me El Mago, the magician. Call me what you want. I just want to play.
Baseball Tonight, Sunday Night Countdown, is presented by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
That was a mammoth blast by Josh Bell. Ring your bell, Josh Bell.
Favorite player to watch right now in baseball?
Played with Aaron Judge on the Fall League a few years back, and to see the growth for that guy, see how he just commands the strike zone, how he sticks with his approach, day in, day out. He was a really mature hitter, but us being the same age is pretty incredible.
If you could steal one tool from a position player in baseball, which tool would you steal and from which player?
I would love to play with Buxton's speed. Just watching that guy run, how he, interacts with the ground. It's aggressive. He grips into it and rips through it, and continues to go forward. I feel like that's a game-changing tool no matter where you are in the field. And if I could be a first baseman that stole 30, 40 bags, it'd be pretty funny.
Favorite off-day hobby?
I like to longboard. Just kind of kick push. Some clean pavement.
Toppings on your perfect pizza?
Pepperoni, pineapple, and mushroom.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I would love to be able to be the Flash. I think that'd be cool. I wouldn't tell anybody. I would just be Buxton. That's who I'd be.
The more you think about it, the great superpower would be to never get hurt and always stay healthy. That'd be the ultimate superpower for an athlete.
That'd be pretty good, and it'd make you a lot of money, too, if this guy can stay healthy.
He's on the verge of making a lot of money. That's Josh Bell. You see him live there stretching. He was a huge part of what was a memorable day over at the Little League World Series complex.
If you love this game, this is one of the great days of the year. Can you imagine what it's like to be those Little Leaguers sitting on the buses right now?
You could tell how giddy they were. They had their phones out, the apps, they're all going to be snapping all their friends.
It's a very special venue. Definitely one of a kind. These kids are so lucky. Show us some top moves.
We got a tradition here. Going down the hill at Williamsport is a must. You might have to get on a cardboard box.
Oh, really? I was not aware of that.
Good speed, too, from Rizzo. Good speed. You have the major leaguers watching a Little League World Series game. Right down the middle, and a strikeout for Matty Frecking. That is hit high and deep. It is gone.
You know, kids are just having fun right now. They're playing the game that they love, that I love, and, you know, they're not too worried about anything else in the future.
Everybody turns into a kid today. It's awesome.
Really neat and enhanced by the Pirates and certainly the Cubs and the way they embrace this whole thing. You were everywhere. You were at the Hill. You were on the bus. Give me your experiences from the day.
Oh, man, it was a busy day. It was fun. We got a great game in the morning and then went over, met the Cubs at the airport. It was fun riding over, talking to Joe, and just really explaining all the stuff I love about Williamsport, where the Grove is, what the Hill is all about, how much these players love the big leaguers getting here. And I heard Javi Baez's name so much the first 3 or 4 days of this tournament. I love it all, but to see the kids light up when the big leaguers get here and the big leaguers light up as well, pretty cool.
And I think the reason this works so well is that big leaguers are basically just kids, right? They're having fun. We're playing a game for a living. And so they look at the little leaguers and say, hey, you do what I do this week. We got 2 weeks to be like on TV all the time. And I think that's where the connection comes from.
Anthony Rizzo told me on the bus with the kids, they were singing all these fight songs, and then he got up and sang center field, Anthony Rizzo. And Chris Archer told me on his bus, he was talking to all the kids, and one of the kids looked at him and go, aren't you the guy who gives up all the home runs?
Oh, man.
And Chris said, yeah, that's me.
That's me. What was up with you going down the hill? You had your feet off of the cardboard. Everybody else did it so well.
I was going to go. I got a bad piece of cardboard on me. I was scared to get dirty. I had to get on TV today.
Oh, go buy an 80-inch TV, man, and just
that's what I need to
get
do.
that box down.
Rip that cardboard. You're right. Really neat part of this event as well. You got all the little leaguers who get their team announced, then they come onto the infield, and then they will be out there when the major leaguers are out there as well. All right, let's take a look at the web gems from the week. And there is always great defense when it comes to the little leaguers. Watch this catch on the line, and we celebrate. The problem is 2 guys scored on a tag-up. On
a foul ball.
On a foul ball, but an unbelievable catch. Then there's Kevin Kiermaier, because there's always Kevin Kiermaier.
And I can watch this guy play center field all day long. Just another of a long line of great catches from Kiermaier. Superman through the air.
That's number 4. Today's catch, if he were able to hold on to it, would have been a #1 web gem. This is number 3. He's going to rob a few in his day.
He's getting so much better in the outfield. When he first came up, he wasn't a great outfielder. He is getting to be a guy you look to watch night in and night out.
It's scary, the National League Rookie of the Year race, because that guy is in it.
Right, but he's hurt, and that's really going to take away from the final 6 weeks of the season for the Padres.
Yeah, Brian Reynolds today.
Man, look how good that kid is.
Pete Alonso, really good.
And in a week of great catches, to be number 1, that had to be special right there. Over the wall, falling down, and just big smile on your face, because I'm going to be on ESPN Web Jam.
Oh, man. Way to go, and way to cap what has been such a great day.
Big League Baseball and Little League Baseball all meeting and taking place in the same town.
It is an absolute privilege to be here. This is something they will never forget.
Bell has hit it way out of here. Jed Jerko, first pitch swinging, gone. And the Pirates win it 6-3.
It brings out your inner 12-year-old. The reason why you love baseball, it's everywhere.
Back up the middle and through, and it's 4-0 New York. And he gets it into left field. A second run crosses. It's the Mets that claim a victory in this year's Little League Classic.
This Cubs team, they've been playing so well here at home. Did he do it again? Into the basket and gone. He is something else.
Oh, game over! The first Pirate switch hitter to ever hit 3 home runs in a game. Cannonball coming! Let's have a Marte party!
First pitch of the Little League Classic starts right now.
But Madden was telling me today, It's like,
you take a look at the teams that are now on the infield here at Bowman Field, and the Cubs and Pirates kind of still warming up behind them. Terrific picture, looks like a rainbow, and when you get 16 teams from around the globe, that is what it is. So let's bring Buster Olney back in. You're taking a look at Josh Bell. He joined us in the booth, Buster, and just when we asked him, you know, what's the tale of the 2 seasons, he said injuries have been the biggest deal for this Pirate team and himself.
Yeah, when I talked to Clint Hurdle a little while ago, he talked about how much fun it's been watching Josh Bell this year. 36 doubles, tied for the National League lead, 31 homers. There's a chance he had 100 RBI tonight. He's got 98 coming in. He talked about all the work he's done on both sides. One thing Clint said is that this is the year that he's been learning how opposing teams sometimes just won't pitch to him. He has one of the lowest rates of having pitches thrown in the strike zone. Josh Bell learning in 2019. He needs to take his walks. You remember a couple of years ago, had a good night at the first Little League Classic, hitting a 2-run homer.
No doubt about it, and the fans here would love to see him do that again. On the other side, we saw the Cubs today really embracing the entire event, and then you realize, wait a sec, that's Craig Kimbrell. So Craig Kimbrell is back. Is Dirty Craig, like, really back?
Yeah, 100%. A little while ago, Joe Madden going up, bumping fists with Craig Kimbrell. They get their closer back, and importantly, it helps keep the structure in place. Look, he didn't light it up when he was pitching before, but he kept that structure in, being the closer, keeping the setup man where they need to be, Carl.
All right, Buster, enjoy the game. Tim, you brought it up first. This is like the most important Little League Classic game we've had, given where the Cubs are.
Right. The Cardinals a couple years ago were in the race, but not like the Cubs are. And the Cubs have been up and down a little bit. They need to win this game. And as pros, they're going to have to turn it off from, hey, we're with the kids. Now we got to play an important game.
And I was hanging out with these guys out of the tunnel, and they were talking about how much fun they are, but how much fun they were having. But this game does count, a very important game in a schedule, and they're on a tough road trip.
Why haven't the Cubs taken off, Rossi? Because I'm waiting for them to get on a roll here. What's it been?
Well, they've had some bullpen issues, but for me, the offense has not stepped on anybody's throat. They've won 2-1 going into late games, and there's not a lot of air for that bullpen that's been banged up a little bit. So the offense needs to step on some throats.
And their struggles on the road, stepping on throats at home. They seem to do that. On the road, it's been an issue. We'll see if it changes tonight. This is a new road game for them after winning yesterday in Pittsburgh. All right, the Little Leaguers are ready. Starting lineups are just about set. With Tim Kirsch and David Ross, Mark Teixeira, I'm Carl Ravitch. Opening ceremonies start. Our public address announcer is Rob Thomas.
And now let's welcome the starting lineup for the Chicago Cubs. First, the manager, Joe Madden. Leading off in center field, number 22, Jason Hayward. Batting second in right field, number 6, Nicholas Castellanos. Batting third, the third baseman, number 17, Chris Bryant. Batting fourth at first base, number 44, Anthony Rizzo. Batting fifth at shortstop, number 9, Javier Baez. Batting sixth in left field, number 12, Kyle Schwarber. Batting in seventh and catching in the bullpen, number 7, Victor Caratini. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 21, Tony Kemp. And batting ninth, warming up in the bullpen, the pitcher number 62, Jose Quintana. And now the starting lineup for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Manager, Clint Hurdle. Leading off at shortstop, number 27, Kevin Newman. Batting second at second base, number 26, Adam Frazier. Batting third, the center fielder, number 6, Starling Marte. Batting fourth at first base, number 55, Josh Bell. Batting fifth in left field, number 10, Brian Reynolds. Batting sixth in right field, number 15, Pablo Reyes. Batting seventh at third base, number 19, Colin Moran. Batting eighth and catching in the bullpen, number 58, Jacob Stalling. And batting ninth in the bullpen, the pitcher, number 23, Mitch Keller. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Fans, we ask that you please stand and remove your hats as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by the youngest runner-up ever in the America's Got Talent, 12-year-old Angelica Hale.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
So if Angelica Hale finishes second, who finishes first? Because that was awfully impressive for a Star-Spangled Banner. As we are set now for the ceremonial first pitch, and what that involves is a relay, and one member of each of the 16 Little League World Series teams will head out, and they will each relay from about 10 feet away until the ball ultimately gets to the pitcher's mound, and we will then have our first pitch. Just think about it, though. You got kids from Japan over here. You got kids from Mexico here. You got kids from Italy that are here. Kids from Australia that are here. What a unique opportunity, Texas.
Well, and I've always thought that sports and baseball particularly, it's great to build bridges and to create, relationships that you wouldn't otherwise have. Most of these kids won't come back to the United States, but they'll always have cell phones and emails and all these great experiences. They can keep track of their guys, their buddies that they met here in Williamsport, and something that they're always going to remember.
Right. So the ceremonial relay of the ball all the way to the mound has begun.
Oh, a little drop. That's all right. That's all right. Stay positive.
The whole thing is positive, and everybody else starts coming from behind and crashing the party.
And Tim, let's get back to this game a little bit. Cardinals win today. You said the Cubs need to win to keep pace. Who's the better team? Are the Cubs and Cardinals the better team in the long run?
I think the Cubs are the best team in the division. Their starting pitching right now is dominant, but Ross is right. They got to hit more, and they got to get that bullpen straightened out. But maybe that happens now that Kimbrel's back, but they need him at the best he's been.
All right, Rossi, end of a great day. You're going to spend a little time watching a baseball game and relaxing?
I am. I'm going to relax. I'm going to stop talking so much. I've talked all day. Just enjoy a nice big league ball game, these kids. I'm excited. I got back to work doing Little League games tomorrow.
Attaboy. Little League will start tomorrow at 9. Of course, this game starts in just a couple of seconds. Baseball tonight will be here at the Little League World Series starting at 5. For Tim Kirshen, David Ross, Mark Teixeira, our entire crew, I'm Carl Ravitch. What a day, and now the beginning of a great night. Matt?
Rabbi, thanks. And as you know, after a passing thunder shower that threatened to interrupt the festivities, Mother Nature smiling with perhaps the stars of tomorrow on hand to watch, and they're excited to take in the stars of today. It's the Chicago Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates as we welcome you to Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, presented by Taco Bell. Well, as you well know, with the Little League World Series in full swing right down the road, Major League Baseball has for the 3rd straight year joined in the celebration. The Pirates got here this morning. Manager Clint Hurdle leading the charge off the plane. The Pirates in their jerseys greeted by the Little League stars. Same for Joe Madden and the visiting, and they are the visitors here today, technically, Chicago Cubs. It was hard holding back the smiles for Chris Archer, and I think everybody else on a big league roster that's here today felt the same way as the kids. And yes, the mascots accompany the team from the Giants International Airstrip, slight exaggeration, here in Williamsport, to the Little League complex not far from here where the Little League World Series is taking place. And the big leaguers were thrilled to be fans, if only for a short time. Anthony Rizzo took advantage to get stretched out